Welcome to the SoundFontNamingConverter 4.0. So what does this mean? I never really ran through this in a video for anybody to see how to use this. So now that we're at the latest, greatest, let me walk through this for you. So this allows you to take any of your CFX, Proffi, Golden Harvest 3, and Xenopixel fonts and cross-convert them for use on another board. Mainly, it handles all of the renaming for you, and in the case of Proffi Target, it'll reorganize and renumber things for you so that it's proper. Just a walkthrough of the page itself. This is new. I've now got a convert audio only. You can drop any font, really actually any file, into this. Here you go. And you just upload files, whether it's a font or whatever. For an example, I've got this audio variety font set up. Not complete, but just enough to show some examples of what's going on. If we actually look at it before I upload it, see I got begin drag labeled red. That's because I got that one at 32 kilohertz, 24 bits per sample. That's not good. We want 44.1, 16-bit, mono. I suppose I could throw I have a stereo one in here somewhere. In tracks, I got a 311 tune. Let's say this is a thing, this is a stereo MP3 file. We're going to knock that down all in one shot. So it'll take into account any file that's got track in the name. If it came in a tracks folder, if track is contained in the folder name, it'll find it. It also will find anything named theme, song, and I actually have like a known files list of where is it in here? Any tracks. I just went through every track I could find in all my fonts and threw it in this list. So if any of your tracks match any of these names, it'll automatically get detected as a track and put into the tracks folder as a result. So, for example, if I click upload, and I see now it tells you here, this is the folder you've chosen, this is how many files you've chosen, and now the convert audio button, which was red, since we've uploaded files and it's good to go, now we can click convert audio, and then a download will be presented, and you got 3 minutes to download that before it gets wiped off the server. So we convert them, and when it's done, we get this download. So I'm going to save that. Let's take a look at what happened. I'll unzip it, and that gross begin drag 1 that was wrong is now mono 44.1 16. The 311 tune is now mono 44.1 16. These were recognized. Oh, that doesn't happen yet, I don't think. Sorry. So the convert audio only will take exactly what you put in as far as file structure goes and spit it right back out. So these are all exactly where they came from as far as subfolders and stuff go. They're all just, if they needed conversion, they were converted to 44.1 mono. If they weren't in that format, then they were, including the MP3. So that's audio only. It'll just take exactly the file structure you put in, and it will spit that back out in the same file format. And you can do multiple, let me get rid of that, download. You can do multiple folders. For example, if I took, here, I'm going to do this multiple fonts Proffi. If I took multiple font folders by selecting the containing folder and I hit upload, all right, now it's got 402 files to process. So when that's done, save it, check it out. Again, this doesn't do any renaming or restructuring or anything like that. This just takes exactly what you put in, and this is, I just unzipped this, which it downloaded. I got this, and here are, just as they were going in, 2 separate fonts. Anything that was in here that wasn't 44.1, which in this case they all probably already were. However, so that just looked at it and said, nope, you're good to go, and passed it straight through, and now here's your result. But the point was to show you can do multiple fonts. They'll come out on the other end in the same hierarchy folder structure as you put in. Okay, so that's the new convert audio only feature. That integrates into the actual file renaming stuff down here. So it's automatically going to happen if you have any MP3s, if you have files that are not 44.1, when you're processing it as a renaming from one board to the other or from Proffi to Proffi, it will do that audio conversion in the background for you anyway. All right. The difference here, let's do a Proffi to CFX. See, now upload files lights up. It won't do it here. If you got the same board, it tells you you don't need to do anything if they're the same board. If you try to do CFX to GH3, same thing. That's already supported on that board. You don't need to convert to use it on that board. But once you pull up like a valid conversion, now upload files becomes available. Still can't convert because we haven't selected any files, but we can pick a font to upload. So let's do a single font. Let's pick this one again. And this is all Proffi naming, Proffi formatting, and subfolders, and single files are not subfoldered like this here. Okay, so this is all a Proffi font. We're going to go to, sure, Golden Harvest 3. I didn't pick the right folder though. Let me just go back. See, I picked a subfolder there. Okay, now I got the whole font selected. I'm going to hit upload, and I say okay, and it tells you this is the thing you've chosen. That's how many files you're going to do. Down here is a little welcome message telling you what this thing does, how to use it, right? Once we click convert and it uploads, this is going to show you your conversion in real time, what's being moved over to what, and everything that shows up in here gets included in a text file in your result. All right, so here's all the processing that's happening in the background, right? You can see we started, tells you what we did. We're converting Moon Hottie to from Proffi to GH3. It moved begin drag 1 over to the new folder as start drag 1, and so on. And these are all straightforward conversions. We get to this one. It found config.ini, and there was nothing to do with that, so it just moved it as a non-wave file straight over. Converted drag and drag, right? So these are all moved. Then it found extras or bonus material, right? So this folder that was extras, quotes, Shinhati, right? That's, where was I? Here, extras, right? These just get moved over as is because they're in an extras folder. This will also pertain to a folder if it's named bonus. If it has any form of bonus or extra in the folder name, it's going to get moved over as is. So you can see here it took it from extras, quotes, and it put it in. The only difference is it'll rename the first folder from extras or bonus or extra space files or anything. If it contained extra, it's going to put it into a nice clean folder under lowercase extras, and then your files will be after that. So it moved all these bonus files over, continued the conversion, got down to this one. Now this is when it recognized, see, that's me looking at it. This looks like a track file because it was named track 1. So it moved it into the tracks folder for me, and it found this one was named track 2 because it had track in the name. It said, oh, that might be a track file. So it moved it into tracks. And then may the force be with you. And it tells you that a conversion log.txt file has been included in your converted font, right? So we click download. We have 3 minutes to download it, or else it gets wiped off and you just hit convert again. So I'm going to put it in this little downloads folder, and we're going to check it out, see what we got. This was going to Golden Harvest 3, right? So here's the converted thing. For GH3, it needs to have this sound 1 or 2 or 3 or whatever appended to the front. So that's automatically done. Here's the conversion log. And if I open that up, it's the same thing that was in the window, but it's in a nice text file for you to refer back to if you ever, oh, where did that come from? Well, here's where it came from, and here's where it went. All right, so that's all in there. And then the actual files are converted to their proper naming according to this board. All right, tracks is where it found the tracks. It put them in tracks. It put extras in the extras folder, still in that form. So I think that all worked right. Again, if anybody sees anything off, just let me know. I will see about fixing it. So that worked. Next would be, let's say you want to, well, let me show you Proffi to Proffi. This is just what it says here. It optimizes the folder structure for the best performance when using on FAT32, which is where single files are not in subfolders and not numbered, and etc., etc. I have an example font that's a mess, which is called single. Okay, this file, this font has all kinds of stuff going on. First of all, it's got alt sounds folders that you can switch to, and you need to have exactly, that doesn't belong in there, the same amount of files, the same setup in each folder. You can read up on subfolders, but here's an example where this one's got clashes not in a subfolder, and they should be in a subfolder like that, so it matches the other ones. That'll get straightened out. I got a begin drag folder with 3 files in it, nothing, 1 and 2, but then I've also got nothing and 2 loose in the folder here. All right, that'll get cleaned up. And I got this clash folder that uses sub sounds. So if the board picks clash 1 to play, you've actually got a choice of 4 different files to keep some variety in choosing that file. So it knows how to handle sub, it knows how to handle alt sounds. It'll structure up these the right way. It should pass this on because it's a non-wave file. It'll take the number off of this. It should work with TR sounds. I think the point was that if you wanted to start a 0, 0, it would. So I'll just make this, I'll make it nothing, and that should work as well. So just to show you how an unorganized kind of a mess folder can get cleaned up from Proffi to Proffi, I will choose single, and I'll upload that, and we'll convert that. Optimize for performance is by default on. You can't change this when you're, see, you've chosen Proffi to Proffi as feature cannot be disabled. Whereas if I were going from Proffi to another board, from another board to Proffi, you can then turn this off if you don't want to optimize it for some reason. But Proffi to Proffi, you can't. Okay, so here's our log. It moved stuff over, it did stuff, but let's just look at the result. Did I download it? Oh, I didn't convert it. Oh, I changed boards before I download it. All right, if you change boards, it's going to prompt you to upload your files again. So I converted, but I didn't download it. So when I changed boards, I lost the download. So I just reconvert it. All right, and then it zips them up, and we download it. And I'll put it in that downloads folder, and then we'll unzip it. We'll take a look. what we got. And I'll actually put it here side by side with this one so we can see the difference. So first it's giving us a conversion log, which I told you about. It's a list of what actually it did, so you can make sure everything's good. Alt 0, which was no good because these should have been in a subfolder. They are now subfoldered, and it's happy. Begin drag had some files loose, some in. Numbering was all over the place. So now begin drag is just properly straight filed. Not a double digit on these because we want a max character length of 8. If this were a begin lightning block instead, you would have 01, 02, 03. So yeah, that got cleaned up. What else? Font had a 01, now didn't need it, so that's gone. TR starts at 0 when it didn't, so that all got numbered right. So that works, okay? And you can also, let's go back to, I don't know, let's say we're doing Proffi Verso this time. This is new. You can hit multiple fonts. Now, this is important to understand. When multiple fonts is on, it's going to process, just like the audio did, it'll give you those separate, it'll give you all the separate folders as you put them in, if this is on. If you select multiple folders without this on, it's going to combine all of them as if they were just one big Uber font. That's what it says here. So I guess I'll show you. So multiple fonts, right? We're going to upload the containing folder of the multiple fonts. So all 3 of these are going to get processed when I hit upload. And let's go. And we're done. So it just back-to-back processes all 3 of them, or however many you have in there. It's going to go through each font as if it were, you know, doing a single font process and do them back-to-back. And then we get here converted to Verso. Let's look at that. So here you notice it's the same 3 we put in. It appends Verso to the end since that's the target. See, when I did the single one before, it did it to, let's not get confused. This was the previous conversion. I'm just going to get rid of them. We already looked at that. This is the new one, and it appended Verso to each one. Each conversion gets a copy of the conversion log for that. Hello. For that font. Yeah. All right. And here they are. Here's all the files. You know, blasts became deflects. Everything got sorted out. All the extras and that stuff got put in extras where they came from. Everything is 44.1 mono. Good to go. And there you go. Multiple fonts done in one shot. Now, if you do not have this turned on and you convert, look what happens. All right. Now look at this log. One big long log. It it actually just took all of the files and loaded them into one big long font. Everything in here. Look at all these. I got 73 swings because those 3 fonts combined had 73 different swings. They all got put in one multi-fonts font. So if you want to merge multiple fonts together, that's how you go about doing it. But it's probably rare that's ever going to be what you want to do. So that's what happens there. Please let me know if I didn't cover something and you want to know about it, or if you find anything that's wacky, I'll be happy to change it and fix it. So there you go. Enjoy.